So there's dedicated servers now. At least I'm working on it. It's a bit experimental, obviously a work in progress. The way it's gonna work is that Steam is gonna have on Steam, if you have Toaster Arena installed, it'll show this tool for dedicated servers. It's like a Toaster Arena dedicated server. It's a bit more tricky to set up than your average game, technically. The only positive thing is that you don't need to do port forwarding. It uses relays, obviously at the cost of higher ping and a bit of more bandwidth usage. In order to get it running, you have to open the server location. You gotta run it from there, because if you use Steam itself, it's not gonna work. So you basically make a shortcut, and then the shortcut needs to have these two parameters, server and log. You don't need log, as long as it has servers it should run. Keep in mind that this only works on Windows. Linux just doesn't initialize. I had some people test it, doesn't matter. Wine, Proton, it's not gonna run. So far, it only works on Windows. It'll give you an error saying that Steam doesn't initialize because it thinks you're playing the game and the server at the same time, which is fake because I'm doing that right now and the server is still running. So it's a Linux issue. It just doesn't work on Linux. So keep that in mind. After you run the server once, it'll create a folder called dedicated server. So there's two files here. There's a template and the actual config. Template is generated by the game all the time. So if you do changes to it, it will get overwritten. And it looks like this. It's like a big string, kind of a caveat of JSON files. They are basically formatted like this automatically, so they preserve space. However, you can use a beautifier tool online to modify them and basically format them into a readable state, which is basically this. You can change the server name. If it has a password, keep it empty for open. The owner, limits, which is not used right now, player count, Steam IDs that are banned, Steam IDs that have moderator rights, and Steam IDs that have admin rights. There isn't an owner one, which I should consider eventually. And then there's a MOTD, which is basically a message that plays after some time passes. And there's also a rules, which shows whenever you join the server. Let me update this because right now this JSON is the wrong one. So basically, if you want to update the server config, you can just delete it and then duplicate this, or you can just rename it. It doesn't matter. The game will always remake it. So just do that and open it in an app. I normally use Notepad++ with a JSON viewer plugin, which allows me to just automatically format it, but you can use like a browser. So here we have the server, and then this is the new config and whatever. And keep in mind that whenever the game gets updated, there might be updates to this template file. So you may need to sometimes check if there's updates to them and then modify your own configuration file to match the template. So that way you don't have any missing values or stuff. So in this case, this is a new server file. It has like all the info that's kind of needed. It's a good starting point. And for rules, JSON by default doesn't support, like JSON file type doesn't support new lines when it comes to text. So it has to be formatted manually by the game. So what the solution I have is that I use this key here on your, for typing a new line basically. And then you can have multiple lines of text by using this character here. MOTD timer seconds basically controls how many times this message shows up in the chat box. And this is like a seconds number. So you have to, if you want, for example, 30 minutes, you have to convert that into seconds. And this is basically 30 minutes. Tick rate is usually how fast the server's ticking. I have experimented with this. It doesn't, like, I don't know if it's actually working or not, because the game could have networking issues. It kind of has it, but it's a bit hard to tell. So basically this makes the server run at 30 ticks, which is supposed to be 30 frames per second, but I haven't looked into that much, or I haven't found that much. Normally this is the standard. 30 is very stable. You can lower it to 20 or 10. Keep in mind that the lower it is, the more inconsistent it becomes, like hit registration, collisions, player sync, and everything. Like it just starts lagging a bit and jittering. And if you have it too high, like 170, for example, it'll start eating your computer's resources. Like this is all CPU driven. So if you have a very high tick rate, keep in mind that the server or your computer will actually struggle a lot. So normally 30 is recommended. It's a bit jittery. You can use 60 if you want, or 120, but keep in mind that you need hardware that's, that can handle it. A very strong CPU. So let's say you already have the config, you did the shortcut, and you double clicked on it, and it created this window. How do you know if the server is actually showing up? It's a bit tricky. By default, the server doesn't send information to Steam the way a normal server would do, because there's no forwarding. So what you want to do is to check if the server is running. You want to click on View and then Game Servers, and on LAN it'll show the server here. It may not show all the values from here. That's normal. It's not supposed to. It's just basically supposed to tell you that, hey, the server's running. And if you go to Internet and then Toast Arena and then refresh, you'll see that no internet service responded to the query. This error is good. This means that the server is online and it's running. It's just not contacting Steam, which is perfect. This is fine. This means that the server is discoverable in-game by using another mean. So right now, if we go to the game itself, let me click on play. You'll see that it will show the server here. It'll show this one. This is another server from someone else that's testing. So we have we have the server here. It shows the player count and it shows the ping. Right now the ping is not really getting updated, so that's a fix for later. But yeah, it shows if the server is public or private. That's determined by the password. Who's hosting it, which in my case may be me, because I have the thing in there. It also shows if it's a dedicated server or a peer-to-peer. At this time, I don't have any peer-to-peer servers running. Peer-to-peer is not really peer-to-peer. It's kind of just listen to the server. It's called a listen server, but peer-to-peer is like the most broad term for them. So we're going to join on it. We have the server rules actually showing. This is a dedicated server feature. It looks like the new line is not working, so that's something for later to debug. But yeah, new lines should be working later on. So yeah, we have that, which is a dedicated server only feature. And here we have the server. We're basically on the server.